This video has been breaking the absolute internet. It's just been going viral. It's one of the most talked about videos, and I can't wait to share this with you. Katie Porter, who is the lead gubernatorial candidate for the Democrats to become the next governor of California. Oh, God, please, no, I hope not. I want you to watch this video, which to me just exemplifies the radical entitlement, the narcissism, everything that I've been trying to tell you guys. I know these people. I've worked with these people. They're all academics in competent, creative, actual innovative people's clothes. They're not actually creative. They're not actually innovative. They haven't built a single thing their entire lives. They're absolute abysmal failures that think that a piece of paper, a PhD, actually means something. So they look down at you and they say, yeah, of course we picked our own candidate. You didn't pick Kamala. We picked Kamala because we know what's good for you. Yeah, of course we had a vegetable in chief as president who didn't make any decisions. We went ahead and made decisions for you, even though you didn't elect us. We went ahead and made decisions with the auto pen. This is what they think of you. And they spied now. I just did a video on this. They were caught red-handed spying on, it's 10 times worse than Watergate. And I know what you're thinking. We want accountability. We want accountability. I'm hoping to God it's coming. But I'm trying to be patient. But this video of California's Katie Porter absolutely losing it during an interview, to me, says it all. Check this out right here.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. Mm-hmm. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
But you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end an interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of, I'm me, I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
Then answer the question.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
Okay, so my God, what an absolute entitled, narcissistic, unqualified, treasonous, venomous monster this person is. So I just want to back this up. Okay, so just in case you missed it, okay, the first question that she asked was something that regards reaching out across the aisle. Are you going to try to reach out in order to win the California governorship? What are you going to do about the high percentage, it's probably more than 40%, of Trump voters out there? What are you going to do to win them over? And then listen to her response. This is how the interview starts. I want to deconstruct this really quickly.
What do you say to the 40% of
What do you say to the 40%, which is literally a microcosm of, that essentially symbolizes half the country, if not more than half the country, because President Trump won the popular vote. And if it wasn't for Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, he would have turned California red in a heartbeat. What do you have to say to the 40% in order to win them over? And her response, her first response, because she backpedals later, she backpedals and she's like, well, no, but I want to end this interview because I'm used to MSNBC, I'm used to CNN, I'm used to NBC, I'm used to CBS, I'm used to everybody kowtowing and throwing me ice cream puppy dog questions that are soft and that make me look good. And this doesn't make me look good. So I want to leave, just like all Democrats. And wait till you see what Hakeem does. He absolutely loses his mind in the next clip.
California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
That says it all right there. Let that leaning in and scrunching her face. This is the expression. This is the expression, my fellow Americans. That expression right there is the same expression that your boy Nez has seen time and time again in the hallways and byways. When I worked in the public sector for 10 plus years as a university professor, I was running businesses before that. I decided to quit the rat race in my late 20s, early 30s, went into the public sector. I thought it would be a nice change of pace. Boy, was I wrong. Not only was it not a nice change of pace, but it was the most cutthroat, ruthless, backstabbing, soulless group of individuals. Faculty, deans, chairs of these universities are some of the worst scum. This is where Obama spawned from, Hillary spawned from, Kamala spawned from. They're all academics in sheep's clothing. They're all academics. That face right there is the face of look down your nose. How dare you question me? I'm so much better than you. I'm an elitist leftist. And you, pitiful peasant American who rolls his sleeves up and gets dirty and blood, sweat, and tears and works, you're the backbone of our nation. You do what I say. That face right there, that is the face of liberal elitism personified. 1 billion%. Why would I need
unless you think you're going to get 60%.
Look at that ridiculous, egocentric cackle, that insincere, inauthentic. What are you laughing at? What's so funny? You're not laughing because you're genuinely enjoying or experiencing mirth. No, you're not experiencing mirth or a buoyance. No, that is a fake, narcissistic, pedantic, self-absorbed, self-interested, scummy, inauthentic, used car salesman laugh.
Of the vote. You think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's
What a cocky SOB. Yeah, of course I'm going to win. I don't need anybody. I don't need Trump voters. These are the people who are saying, oh, why don't you reach across the aisle? Why don't you unite with us? Why don't you help us out? Why don't you work with us? You want us to work with you when you're shooting us? You're killing us. You're attempting to assassinate us. You're calling us Nazis, garbage, deplorables, threat to democracy, constitutional crisis, and you act like this? Look down your nose, elitist pawn scum, unwarranted egocentric narcissism? You want us to work with you?
You versus another Democrat.
I don't intend that to be the case.
Wow.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can.
I have the support in terms of name. I don't even know who the hell you are, Katie Porter. Who are you? Nobody knows you. Where do you get this undeserved cockiness? Where do you get this unwarranted hubris? I don't get it.
To make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you
Wow.
I feel like this is unnecessary argument.
I feel like
What
this
is
is
your
unnecessary. Yeah.
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy.
I don't need them to win. No. I understand that. Now you can almost see the mechanism in her brain. There's like a small fragment, like a molecule left in her entire soulless body of, you know what, I'm starting to sound very arrogant and ridiculous and preposterous. I don't need anybody to win. I don't need Republicans. I don't need Trumpsters. They look down. They look down at anybody who disagrees with them. Our country, Charlie Kirk embodied everything that our country was about. Non-judgmental engagement in discourse, debate, the combative yet respectful collision of ideas, philosophies, ideologies. That's true reaching across. That is true. And that's why he won. That's why he built one of the biggest empires known to man when it came to really truly galvanizing a movement, not a fake galvanization like fake Gavin Newsom. He embodied that. It's so interesting. Again, I'm not even really right or left. I'm more of a constitutional centrist, if anything. But that's why the right. That's why anybody who's not a radical socialist, communist Democrat. I mean, basically, if you're not a radical socialist, Democrat, communist, you're considered right wing. Which, if that's what you want to call me, that's fine. I'm definitely not that, though. I'm definitely not a democratic socialist. She says, I don't need them. Who cares about them? Who cares about people who disagree with me? It's unbelievable.
Answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
Why are you calling it? Why are you calling it, Katie Porter? Well, because, I'm actually being asked real questions, and I'm not used to that. Another video is going viral because Katie Porter made an absolute fool of herself in this interview where, and again, she's the leading California Democratic gubernatorial candidate.
Air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again.
California, I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you. I beseech you. Please, let's get our Golden State back. Please, let's get our beautiful coastline, our mountains, our deserts, our gas prices, our tax rates. Let's support fighting crime. Let's support law and order. Let's support and bring back common sense values into our beautiful state. I'm begging you, California, begging you on my knees. We have to stop electing these radical socialist communists who hate America. They're so afraid of competing in the free market, free enterprise system that they're willing to let in millions. You know, they can't win elections anymore with regular American citizens. None of these people can. The Hakims, the Schumers, the AOCs, the mentally Ilhan Omars, the Newscombs, they can't win elections anymore with actual American citizens. It's over. It's all over. They can't win. So what do? Well, I got an idea. Let's get rid of the border. Let's throw out a red carpet. Let's promise them radical amnesty. Let's promise them accelerated citizenship. Let's insult every legal immigrant who did it the right way, like my parents who came in this country in the early 70s and worked their asses off, contributed, educated themselves, worked hard, blood, sweat, and tears, didn't earn their citizenship for 15 years after they immigrated, doing everything right, going through the right ports of entry, through the right systems and processes. Let's insult every legal immigrant and just say, hey, we're not going to vet you. We're not going to track you. We're not going to screen you. But here's the catch. Here's the kicker. Here's the rub. You got to vote for us. We give you everything America can afford without any of the hard work, without earning citizenship. We'll even fight law enforcement. We'll even invent apps that tell people where ICE is so you don't get deported. We'll even create ICE-free zones. Can you believe this garbage? That Mayor Brandon Johnson, the worst mayor, even worse than Karen Bass, even more unqualified, the race-baiting, race-hustling Mayor Brandon Johnson. Can you believe this garbage that this guy's spewing? He's creating ICE-free zones. You know, I have to give full credit to Matt Walsh. I thought he brought up a great point. Could you imagine if the IRS created IRS-free zones where small businesses or residents or taxpayers could go and the IRS couldn't enter? You don't have to pay taxes. Could you imagine if Trump did something like that, created IRS-free zones for his quote-unquote billionaire friends? That's all they talk about. Could you imagine the hatred? Could you imagine every front page, every woke corporate press network covering it day in and day out? This is authoritarianism. No, but of course, Mayor Brandon Johnson, Mr. Race-baiting race hustler, he can create ICE-free zones. Make it make sense, America. Make it make sense. I'm begging you, California, no on 50 and vote red all the way down the line. Let's get our state back. For the love of God, let's get our state back.